Dr. Denise Ejo, the CEO of Cormode Cancer Foundation. I would like to welcome you to our Cormode Cancer Foundation page. Our goal is to create an awareness of the challenges, support and guidance experienced in managing cancer care for sufferers, family, carers and friends. To engage with us, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Click our notification bell.
We are looking at the Kakaaki Cancer Awareness now, and it is the first anniversary of Kakaaki Cancer Awareness, hosted by Dr. Denise Uzoma Ejo, who is the Chief Executive Officer and founder of Cormode Cancer Foundation. And she's got a whole lot of resume. We'll not be reading everything, but I'd like to tell you a bit about who Dr. Denise Uzoma Ejo is. She used to be the host of this program, but today we are hosting her because we're looking at her experience hosting the program and how impactful the program has been to those living with cancer and those of their families. And Dr. Denise Ejo founded this non-governmental organization following the death of her mother, Margaret Ann Ejo, she now lives with cancer, but you would never see that. Dr. Denise Ejo was diagnosed with breast cancer metastasis in the brain, and she has undergone 3 brain surgeries. You won't believe that. And had gamma knife surgery, which is what the doctors use radiology to remove 7 tumors, and has also undergone different treatment regimes to shrink 4 to 5 more tumors using chemotherapy. She is in active treatment following her last brain surgery, which was carried out in March 2022, just this year. And when she was informed that her cancer was still active, she is now on a new drug regime. I'd like to tell you again that Dr. Denise Ejo completed a PhD in education in 2020 and was awarded specializing in leadership, policy and change in 2020, and was awarded the Social Change Award for her drive in cancer education against all the odds. Her NGO was registered in 2020 and focusing primarily on education through cancer advocacy. Absolutely. She has been hosting this cancer awareness for a whole year, and she will be sharing her experience with us. Dr. Denise, thank you for joining us, and we must say we are inspired by your bio.
Absolutely. Yes, happy anniversary. And I think that it's been a year, and I mean, I didn't even notice it's been so fast. And so we want to say well done. It must have been something very, very inspiring for a lot of people seeing this initiative come to fore and taking conversations on a new perspective of the health dimensions of cancer. So thank you so much. You were really the real heroine.
Yes. Okay, so let's first get the first question out. Dr. Denise, how has it been hosting this program for a whole year? And what impact would you say your program has had on people who have been listening to you in the last 1 year?
Dr. Denise, can you unmute yourself, please?
Dr. Denise, if you can hear us, unmute your device so we can have a seamless conversation. All right, doctor seems to be battling with her system there, so we do hope to get her in. But this is really a resume that, would inspire a whole lot of people. Sometimes when one is down with a particular ailment, it kind of casts a doubt of survival on you. It kind of depresses you, kind of makes you feel like, oh God, why me? But this is one woman who has inspired a whole lot of people. In fact, when I saw that she has got brain surgeries at that, you know what that
3
means?
times, yeah.
And she still lives with so much, a passion to deliver, living on her dream, to educate people. And of course, she has a doctorate degree in education. So I understand why she has taken up this, initiative to help people who are also down with cancer to know that you can live really.
Absolutely. I think that the socio-psychological effect of any disease in itself is what really the burden is about. You know, if you look at the trajectory and her story from when she started, and the fact that she has to go through chemotherapy to be able to sustain a level amount of intervention, it also tells you, you know, the psychological effect of what that does, because chemotherapy is a very, you know, distressing process for some people. Sometimes you have loss of hair, sometimes you have body weakness, sometimes you also have, you know, amnesia. There are several symptoms for several people on different kinds of cancer diagnoses. But for me, I think what really tells the story of survivor for me from her is the fact that every time she tries to innovate ways to have conversations that drives for hope in her conversations. There hasn't been any time when I listened to her engagement where I feel a sense of empathy. I do not know if you understand. I understand and I sympathize with the conversation around the condition, but there is, I see
so
strength.
Much energy.
Yes, I see strength, I see faith, I see hope, I see inspiration. You know, I see somebody who's daring all the odds to break all the barriers that limits, you know, those who are surviving with cancer from living normal lives. And I think that's what her foundation is given to, and I must applaud her.
It's a very great initiative there. So let's see if we can get Dr. Denise now back online. Dr. Denise, good morning and happy anniversary to your foundation, Cormode Cancer Foundation.
Thank you very, very much. Good morning.
Oh, great. All right, you're welcome. So let's first have the experience, share your experience with us, you know, presenting that program for the last 1 year. How has it been?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Share your experience with many Nigerians who are watching you now, how it has been presenting the cancer awareness program on Kakaaki for the past 1 year.
That's a very good one. It's been a very interesting journey. You know, I'm a teacher, so firstly, it's actually been a learning experience because I'd never done anything television really. I'm a teacher, I teach, so I've had to learn how to navigate your space because it's not my space. I've had to learn how to get through, how to respond to people with the disease who have reached out following the program. I've had to learn how to communicate differently amongst the cancer stakeholders. So it's been interesting because looking at where we are and where we're going, the opportunity that the Kakaaki Cancer Awareness has given the cancer community is very, very, it's something to applaud because you may not realize, but a lot of people are getting more and more aware of what is going on, that they need to seek for help, the need to understand that there are people who need support and don't know how to get it. So the program has taught me as a person that we all have a strength of character and we have to be determined to drive our own passion. If not, we will never achieve what we are supposed to achieve, and we'll never reach out to the people that we are supposed to reach out to because we're not communicating, educating, discussing. We're hiding away.
Okay.
You know, cancer is known as a taboo. It's a shame, but that's the way it is. So, yeah.
All right.
I think that's what I've taken out of the first 1 year of this.
Okay, so I hear a lot of things, and I hear there are good things too. Now let's look at the challenges so far. I mean, you've mentioned a few of the highlights. What have been the challenges in this 1 year?
The challenges have been trying to get the people that make the decisions understand that we are human, and people are making decisions about. I always say to people, I live with the disease, and because I live with the disease, I understand, and I am part of the community that are the disease holders. So looking at that, it has made things very, very difficult it has challenged, to be put it this way, it has challenged my own personal thoughts about how other people navigate. And I am fortunate to have been to be treated abroad, so it's opened my eyes, and I look at the needs now, and the needs are huge, huge. And where do you go? How do you talk to people? How do you navigate with people? How do you support people? How do you fund this cancer? Because the biggest challenge I have come up with is funding people with the disease. I mean, Nigeria has a long way to go to be able to help us, because the hope of life is not encouraging. There's some milestones being met, but that's private sector that are really making a huge difference. But where's government in all of this? We need them to come up, because it can't. It's heartbreaking. Anytime I have to talk about it, I actually almost start crying, because I'm like, you have actually said we don't have a chance to live. And I'm sad to have to say that, but that is a fact. And we have to stop. The government has to start hearing. I don't enjoy coming on television. I'm a teacher. I didn't come to this level, but if I have to help people to hear and help people to understand you can still try and get help, then let me try. And I would every day say it. You've given us a real good platform to be able to talk about our challenges within the Nigerian space and globally, to be fair.
All right, I'm aware you've hosted close to 30 different sessions in the last 1 year since inception, and you've covered a wide range of topics. We do that every bi-monthly here on Kakaaki, the African Voice, and I'm wondering which of these 3 major topics you have treated stood out for you.
Okay, very interesting, but I think a lot of people expect me to say any of the cancer topics. No, because I'm the one that sits with the disease. The mental health topic has stood out very much for me, because I never realized the impact cancer has on us and our mental health. And Nigeria does not recognize mental health. You say I'm going through depression, I'm tired, or you're crying a lot, people just think you're just talking nonsense. But the truth is, you're not talking nonsense. You're actually expressing how you are feeling, because cancer is a disease that limits your hope, if I should put it that way. You try, you hope, and you pray, but you still got to fight your own battles yourself. And how you're going to navigate that is a serious challenge in its own way. So that's one. The next one that has really touched my heart is when we've had to talk about the government's intervention in helping us. That is another section. That's another series that I found very, very heartbreaking, because the more I have spoken to people about what needs to be done, the more I leave the interview saying, what is this? Is this it? Is this all we have to say? Is this all the government can say to us? Is this the hope that we have in Nigeria? We don't need to be where we're at. I don't need to be talking about this. We're too big for this. I was born in Nigeria. I used to go to the general hospital. Today, you can't go to the general hospital. It's heartbreaking. So that's the second one. And the third and final one for me is the pictures that have come out from, I'll put it clearly, breast cancer, to be fair. And it's funny, because I actually have lived, I am diagnosed with breast cancer metastasizing in the brain, but it's the breast cancer needs of the people that has really gotten to me. But I'm very grateful, because cervical cancer and breast cancer have gone a long way in Nigeria. I am hoping that prostate cancer will hit it, because men are still sitting on the fence, and I need men to come out and please get treated. It's better to be alive for your children than for you to just pretend it doesn't exist. Your children really do need you, and I'm talking from a point of a mother. we do need our sons and our fathers. So we need them to please take this prostate cancer campaign seriously, and hopefully we'll work very hard to drive it next year.
All right. Talking about drive, I want to look at what the impact has been in the last 1 year of the CCF, especially on viewers. Do you have any major ones?
Well, I will take a lot of the ones I've got because I've got them from you guys. You guys tell me. I was hoping you'd tell me something. You tell me what the impact has been. But yes, we do. We get a lot of messages now coming through. We have heard from quite a lot of people from different spectrums that are seeking support and help. We found that a lot of people that would averagely not want to accept that they have the disease are now saying, okay, where is the nearest hospital I need to go to? Because we only do cancer awareness. We don't do anything else. So it's quite interesting to watch the space when you see people asking, how do I get help? Which is what this is all about, is how do you get help? And that is very, very encouraging in my own view. The materials that are going out, we're noticing we're getting more traction with people on what they want to do and how they want to navigate. And we get people saying, can we support? Can we help? Can we talk? Which is interesting because people don't like to talk about this disease publicly because it's stigmatization. But I'm quite impressed and I'm very proud that quite a few cancer survivors have set up organizations, because when they talk to me, I say, why don't you run your own foundation? And they do, and I'm very proud because I know quite a few now that have set up their own foundations, that are working in their own spaces and doing what we do best, because we're a community. No one person has everything. No one person can offer everything, but every single one of us has something very unique to bring to the space, and that is all that we really need. The more we are to fight together, the more chances we have of getting past it.
Yes, indeed, because you have been the host of this program for the last 1 year, but I do get a number of calls asking me, please, how can I get in touch with Dr. Denise? We listen to her and we want to get in touch. Do you have her contact? And I've given a couple of people as well to reach out. So if I can get it in my own small space, I can imagine the number of messages or emails or even on your social media space that you get and people trying to get help. But let's see what you need or you hope to achieve in the next 1 year. You've just done 1 year, and I'm sure you're going to do this for a long time to come.
By the grace of God. By the grace of God. In the next 1 year, we want to try and get out and at least have a program once a week, a minimum, in the next 12 months, where we can do this. We want to now look at radio because we have to get through. There's a population of people that don't have television, and somehow we've got to get through them. So we now have to find the people that would help us get into the grassroots, and we're going to have to source for funding to help us get the recordings done. One thing that is very key is once we can get the messages out in Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa, we are more likely to be able to get it out into the international community. I have had quite a lot of my own consultants here saying, Denise, can we actually see your videos? And I say, yes, you can. Go on to YouTube. Can we share them with other medical people? I say, yes, you can. So let's try and see how we can build it. But I want to see if we can get it into the Nigerian languages. We've only got a few in Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa. We partnered with somebody else who has sent us some videos that they've made, and we'll have to edit them and look at them together and make sure they are all up to date and start to build that library of resource that can help people. It's mainly recognizing the sign. Once you know that this thing can be more than what you think, then you have a better chance of at least seeking help. So that's where we want to go. I'm a teacher, so we have to educate people on how to navigate this journey better.
Okay, on the show,
those are the two main targets.
Okay, we're looking forward to that, and I think that would be very instructive, considering that the rural areas are more on the radio as well. Talking about learning, and I know some people have called in to ask and say, "Oh, how do we check, for lumps in the breast area? How do you identify when someone has, an early sign of prostate cancer?" And I say, well, that's what Dr. Denise is for. She brings all of those insights on her shows with doctors and resource persons. But do you think there'll be more practicals in future? I mean, with the show, because people are often moved by, tutorials on what and how to go about such issues like self-checks.
Yes, we do, and we used to do a lot of it. We do it on Zoom because of time. Because to be able to bring a doctor on to start showing you the pictures, to do the presentation, is time. So until we can get a partner that will give us a time, like give us a 1 hour slot, even if it's once a month, which I would really, really appreciate. I don't know where it comes from, but once a month, we can actually get this same program done once a month, but not on highlighting clips like this, a proper one. So we would say, January is cervical cancer. We would have a session on cervical cancer with a medic, and I think there are two parts to that. You've got this surgeon and you've got the oncologist, and you can get the team together, and that's what we used to do on Zoom. Trying to see if we can get it back on, but it's a 1 hour program, so who is going to give us the 1 hour is where we have to now start trying to navigate that. We may be lucky. Somebody might see us today and say, you know what, I'll give it to them. So let's hope. Or you might give it to us. I don't know. But that would be a nice one, because that is where you would learn about how to check your breast, or how check if you've got a lump, or know what you're trying to do. Yes, that is where you would find it. When we can start doing like the teaching, the lecturing.
I'm sure that's enough pitching.
Teaching.
AI is hearing that pitching on quality. I'm sure they'll take it into consideration for extensive timing.
All right, let's see if you have got a way, really, or a mechanism for checking how your program has, impacted in the lives of the survivors or those who, are still down with the disease, how their life quality has improved over time.
Well, none of us is God, so we can't actually tell you how people's quality of lives are. We can only hope that the messages we're sending out helps them to use the tools, seek the support, seek help in timely manners, look for organizations that can help support them. One place I would always say to anybody who doesn't even know anything and is just panicking is to try and either contact and look for an NGO near you, or look for the Nigerian Cancer Society. They have a database of where people can get help. So just reaching out to them. Where if you ask them, they have the list of almost, or at least all the registered cancer organizations in Nigeria. So they can actually navigate you to wherever you want to go to. There are cancer centers, hospitals. There are government ones, and I'm so elated at this point, because in this last 3 months, I think we've been able to see 3 launched. One in Calabar, one in Port Harcourt, and I think there's one other one that's just been launched as their cancer centers, and they've got the tools, which is really, really impressive, because now at least, even though it's the private sector, the government also, and the one in, I saw that yesterday, the one in Maiduguri. So you see, we've got 2 outstanding ones already that have just come online, which was the one in River State, that's the one by Governor Wike, which we're very proud of. And then I saw another one yesterday, which is the one with the Borno State Governor. So you see, at least we're very happy that some people are hearing and trying to help and trying to help us out. It's just the big problem now is we need the human resource to use these tools, because they need to be used. We need them used, not kept in a cupboard.
All right. I know that there's a lot of conversation concerning, social psychological and, of course, therapy for mental health. I mean, you said it clearly. You said it clearly that one of the most important ones was the mental health conversation. And I think a lot of people are not speaking to people here in Nigeria and I think in Africa about the effects of things like chemotherapy. What other measures can you give for safe spaces for people to call and talk about issues concerning their mental health with regards to treatment?
I need to be fair. A lot of organizations are now making a huge impact. I think I watched one, which was the one with Project Pink or something like that, and they run a session. They run a session, and you can watch it on YouTube and Instagram Live whenever they're on. I would suggest to people that to get this kind of help, look at what exactly you're looking for, and then look for the Nigeria cancer societies in Nigeria. They will be able to navigate you. Nobody is jack of all trades, master of none. That's not what we want. We want everybody to know that this person is specialized and they have the tools and they get you. Because I won't lie, as you rightly pointed out, mental health was a big shocker to me personally, and it took me 1 whole year to get out of it, to actually pick each challenge one at a time and address them with the help of a counselor. Now, how many people can afford to do that? How many organizations have we got that do that? And no matter what we say, there is in the cancer treatment space.
All right.
They've got a name they call it. Just like I say, I'm not a medical doctor.
All right,
but they bring all segments of the cancer team, that work together to talk about how to do a plan for a patient.
Yeah.
How successful is that now is something that we need to look at. But that will be something that we will look at from the medical perspective from January. So we'll get more consultants in to come and now start talking about those kind of conversations. Because
all right, doctor,
we have to start
Dr. Denise Uzoma Ejo. All right. So much a pleasure to have talked with you on this your first anniversary. And we do wish you a very more successful programs going forward. Dr. Denise Uzoma Ejo is the Chief Executive Officer and founder of Cormode Cancer Foundation and the host Kakaaki Cancer Awareness, which happens here bi-monthly. She has a lot of videos and materials you can look out for on her YouTube channel. So if you want to get in touch with her, it's a pleasure for her to meet with you. Do have a great day, and we wish you the very best.
Thank you.
I hope there'll be a party though.
Thank you. And to all the women out there, Breast Cancer Month, please get your checks. Please, 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 please. It saves a life.
All right. Thank you so much.
That's my last message, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you to AIT. Thank you for this space. You may not realize it, but you are really making a huge difference to us as cancer survivors, cancer stakeholders. We really appreciate everything you guys are doing for us.
Thank you. Thank you. All right,